Hi Sagittarius, this is your horoscope for December 2016. It's really nice to be with you. Thanks for joining me today. Now, a couple of things going on here. The first major shift you'll notice is at the beginning of December. Mercury, the communication planet, has been in your sign of Sagittarius up until the 3rd, in your first house, next to Saturn, your midheaven, and your Sun, all in Sagittarius. So the beginning of the month here, there will have been a great sense of empowerment and communication being very, very open and expansive and optimistic, and really being able to get ideas coming in and really being inspired. It's been a really open, fabulous time for you. On the 3rd, Mercury gets a little bit more serious when it moves into Capricorn in your second house, in the sense that it wants to achieve something tangible and concrete and conventional and significant. Mercury is your ideas, and Capricorn is dry and practical and ambitious, and it wants to actually get down and dirty and do something. That is in your second house of money and career and finance. So these ideas that you've been having with Mercury in Sag, it's very important that you make a note of them before the 3rd, and then you implement one of those ideas, because there's real potential for you to work at something and really create wealth for yourself. Not only that, you're really blessed here in terms of your money and finance. Out of all of the signs of the zodiac, you have the most transformative, positive, loving energy in your second house of money and belongings, and you can really work to make that a wonderful aspect of your life. You have the Moon, Venus, and Pluto all in Capricorn in your second house on the 3rd of December, and that means you love to work and you love to put something into practice that you really care about, and putting that love into your work, or even working creatively, will help you transform your financial life. So you're not done, okay? The holidays haven't come for you just yet, Sagittarius. This is about taking your inner fire, your inner flame, and putting it out into the world. And when you add value to the world will add value back to you via finance and belongings. Now that energy continues and continues on and on, but it weakens on the 8th of December when Venus leaves Mercury and Pluto behind, and it moves into Aquarius in your 3rd house. Now, Venus in Aquarius in the 3rd will start to inspire you even more, but in a sense of, how can I do this for the sake of the greater good? And how can I be a humanitarian in a sense? And that takes you away from what you're doing, because at the beginning of the month, up until the 8th, you were independent, alone, and plodding away at things and putting them into practice. Venus gives you this social conscience and really thinks, well, what about other people? And Mars is also in Aquarius in the 3rd house. That's at 21 degrees, 2 and 1 is 3, and that's expressive. So, yes, on the one hand, you will want to support and help other people, but from the 8th, you will become very inspired. So yes, before the 3rd, you were being inspired and you had great ideas, but now, the 8th onwards, alongside Mercury in your 2nd, you will get new ideas, new inspiration, which you can implement and which you can make tangible, practical, and real in this world, so that it provides more abundance and prosperity for you, and it transforms your career. So inspiration is coming from left, right, center, all over the place, and it's very important for you to pay attention and to honor those messages that you're getting, and then to put them into practice. On the 14th of December, there's a full moon happening in Gemini, and there will be a separate video on the full moon which goes into a lot of depth and detail. But as far as you're concerned, Sagittarius, the full moon happens in your 7th house of relationship. Now the moon is at 29 degrees, 2 and 9 is 11, that is the master number of service, and it's not just 11, it's Gemini, which is 11. It's a doorway, it's the Roman numeral 2, which is also an 11, so it's 1111. So this is a wonderful full moon for you, because it's a new beginning, and guess where it is? In the 7th house, a new beginning in your relationships. So she may appear out of the mist and just come floating up to you and, hello, I'm here. So that is really a magical, magical full moon, and please make yourself available, be out and about or available or in some way, so that you can experience the love and magic of this full moon. On the 19th, we have Mars leaving the 3rd house in Aquarius, and it goes into Pisces in your 4th house. And that's really beautiful, because Mars in Pisces is a little bit uncomfortable, because it has to start self-sacrificing and thinking about other people. But it's in that 4th house, and yes, on the 19th you may feel a little bit irked or a little bit uncomfortable, but your main focus will be, how can I make other people in my family happy? So don't go Christmas shopping on the 19th, because you'll buy everyone 5 presents just to make them thrilled. So try and get it done before that. It's going to be too much of a good thing. And on the 19th as well, Mercury goes into retrograde in your second. So all of this career bliss, implementing ideas in a practical format, that becomes more stifled and difficult. Mercury is the communication planet, and when it goes into retrograde, there's room for more error and things getting lost, and communications kind of misfiring. So try and get things done before the 19th. But that relates to work. It doesn't mean that your relationships in terms of family communications is going to be difficult. That's taken care of by all this energy in the 4th. Now on the 20th, Mars in Pisces, which was a little bit uncomfortable here on the 19th, it begins to conjunct Neptune, and it stays in conjunction with Neptune until the 10th of January. So what that means is that the calming, soothing, beautiful, loving energy of Neptune kind of overrides the frustration of Mars, and Mars calms down a little bit, and it channels its energy into helping and supporting others and being there for them. So I think it's a one day where you feel out of sorts really and a little bit frustrated. And now until the 10th of January, there's real potential for you to enjoy family bliss and connection, and for you to really be to really give everyone the benefit of the doubt. You know, if someone is totally misbehaving at Christmas, you're not going to judge that person and still feel like, I love this person, but the behavior isn't right, but I'm not judging. It's really, really selfless and positive. So you're going to be an amazing person to invite round for Christmas, because you're going to make a positive contribution, really, really. On the 28th/29th of December, depending on where you are in the world, Uranus, the planet of drive and desire, that goes direct. Drive and desire, it's drive, but drive in an independent, unique, eccentric way. Doing things off your own back for yourself the way you want, okay? And that goes direct at 2 degrees, which is a relationship, in your 5th house of romance and relationship. So the focus really shifts for you here at the end of December going into January. And if you're single, you're out looking for a partner. If you're in a relationship, you're out asserting yourself to make the relationship the way you want it to be. I think there's no stopping you, and you really go from one thing to the other. It may be that you've seen and enjoyed the family union and the couples and the children, and you thought, well, I want that for myself. I feel really galvanized into action. On the 29th of December, we have a full moon, not a full moon, a new moon happening in Capricorn. And again, there'll be a separate video on this to go into a lot of detail about it. But the new moon happens for you, Sagittarius, in Capricorn in your 2nd house. So this brings you back to this inspiration about money and taking your ideas and putting them into practice and working hard and really creating wealth for yourself. At the end of this month, we've got a lot going on as well now in this 2nd house. We've got Mercury, and we've got your midheaven, which is work, the noon position. We've got the sun and the moon, obviously, because it's a new moon, and then we've got Pluto. So this energy that's being pulled in, you're going to work and feel driven to work, not just at your relationships, but also at your career and finance. And that work, the effort you make, is really going to transform things. You know, I was reading the Joan Rivers biography the other day, Last Girl Before Freeway, and at 55, she had been working for 20 years as a comedian, and she'd amassed millions, and they lived in this fancy house in Bel Air and everything. And the husband killed himself, and she was fired from her job. And it turned out that the husband who killed himself had made these investments, leaving her $37 million in debt. And she woke up one day being 55 years old with absolutely nothing and being in debt. No husband, the daughter wasn't talking to her, she had no career, nothing. And she picked herself up and said, I'm going to go back to work and I'm going to do this, which is amazing, which is beyond. Most people would be crushed by that. But she went back to work, and it took her a while to get back on top. You know, she had to take a crappy job first, and then she took another crappy job, and then it built and built, and the shambles that were left took a couple of years to be removed, but it was that consistent effort and continuing to work and work and work, and that's what this 2nd house is about. Putting that effort in over and over and over will eventually lead to a transformation of your financial life and will put you in a situation you want to be in. So it's about never giving up and continuing to move forward, and really everything is supporting you in doing that. So it looks very, very positive for you, Sagittarius. If you would like a private reading based on your birth chart, which I can draw up by looking at your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth, and if you want to have a look at what's coming up for you career-wise, or what your working life purpose is, or what your soul purpose is, what's coming up in your romantic life, family, children, anything like that, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and you can order your reading with me there. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you next month.